Hey y'all, it's Hans. Welcome back again this week. So we've got the full review of the Pulsar Thermion XQ50. All right, y'all, welcome back to all you night vision, thermal hog, and predator hunters. Thank you for coming back again this week. We got the full review of the Pulsar Thermion XQ50. If you haven't done so, please check out the Late Night Vision Show podcast. You can find it on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. We've done a very full, in-depth review of this scope already. Jason at Outdoor Legacy Gear and I host that podcast on a weekly basis. I don't remember what episode number it is, but if you go over to the YouTube channel, it was very recent, so you can find that Pulsar Thermion XQ50 full review. Today we are talking about this brand new optic, much anticipated optic from Pulsar that was announced at SHOT Show 2020. This is, I don't want to say it's a replacement for any of the Thermion line that's out right now, because as you know, we've had what came out in 2019. We had the Pulsar Thermion XM38, the Pulsar Thermion XM50. This year, the first scope that was released, Pulsar Thermion XQ50. And here very soon, we're going to be having the very first Pulsar Thermion XQ38 in our hands. So we've got this first. We do know now that Pulsar has discontinued the Pulsar Thermion XM38. That's the 4-power 320 resolution, 12 micron scope that was out last year. They're keeping the XM50, but they have discontinued the XM38s. They're no longer going to be available. This is, a lot of people want to ask about this scope, how it compares to the XM models. We're going to be talking about that here towards the end of the video. We're going to go over specs right now. You're going to get to see video as I'm talking. We're going to talk a little bit about comparisons. You'll get to see a comparison video. And of course, my likes and dislikes. So I've had this scope for, about a month now. So I've had it out in the field just about every night since. Had a chance to use it a lot. Got a lot to say. And first of all, let's run through these specs of this brand new unit. So the big change on the XQ series versus the XM. This is a 384 resolution scope, 17 microns. So they were 320, or the XMs are 320, 12 microns. This is 384 and 17 microns. So they kind of switched it up. The lower the micron number, the better the picture. But the higher the resolution, also the better the picture. So, I mean, it's that's what's kind of added to a lot of this confusion. Is okay, which one's going to look better? Because one of them has a lower resolution number and a lower micron number. The other one has a higher micron number and a higher resolution. So, lower micron, better picture, higher resolution, better picture. It's got a lot of confusion going on out there. So 384, 17 microns. It starts out on 3.5 power. 3.5 power goes up to 14 magnification, 14 power. So this is, I see this ideally as a great scope for somebody that's out coyote hunting, and we get a lot of people from up north. I'm down here in Texas. A lot of people up north that coyote hunt on the East Coast. Out in the West, doing a lot of coyote hunting, taking some longer shots. This is a little bit higher base magnification than the hog hunting scopes that you see down here that are usually around the 2 or 2.5 power. So a little bit more magnification in it. It is more comparable, I would say. A lot of people want to compare this to the XM50, the Thermion XM50, which is the 5.5 power, 320 resolution scope. That we need to, and when you talk about this needs to be compared more to that XM38 that was discontinued at 4 power. So we'll be talking about that comparison, but it's more comparable to that because it's closer magnification, better comparison. It does have 8 different color palettes to choose from. As you know, it's got the standard, which we can now say the standard Thermion design because last year it was brand new, but this is the standard Thermion design. It looks more like a traditional rifle scope. It's got the nice flip open plastic cap on it. It does have rechargeable batteries. So there is a battery in this top turret that pulls out, and it also has an internal battery. It comes with a charging stand that you can charge with this battery or an extra battery. to charge the internal battery. Typically what I do is I just plug the whole scope in. I don't mess with taking the batteries out or anything like that. There's a plug right here on the side that you can use. Plugs the scope. I keep it on my rifle. I plug it right in the wall, charge it up. These batteries together, they're getting about on a full charge, about 6.5 hours of runtime, depending on the temperature. We tested it in 75-degree weather, so I mean it's going to get about 6.5 hours of runtime. Now, it's got really the main buttons you're going to be using are the three right here on top. You got your power button, you got your magnification button, and you got your record button right here. Easy to find at night, very easy to maneuver through, and no problems at all. Now, to get into the menu of the scope, you're going to use this, which almost looks like a turret. It's a button that you push and hold, and you turn this wheel, which goes up and down in the menu. You can also change your brightness and contrast on the difference between a short press and a long press. Very easy to get used to using. A lot of people are concerned about the technology built into these things, and yes, there is a level of technology on any type of night vision or thermal scope, but I think they've made it pretty much as easy as possible to be able to get yourself through this, even if you're not tech savvy enough to get out, have a good time, learn the scope quickly, and use it at night, because we're using all these scopes at night. It's the mount for it. What we are suggesting, and when I say we, Outdoor Legacy Gear. And by the way, if you're looking to purchase any night vision or thermal optic, please give Jason a call over Outdoor Legacy Gear, 877-350-1818. Again, outdoorlegacygear.com. This is the American Defense Manufacturing QD, one-piece QD cantilever mount. This is what I use on all my Thermions, made in the United States. Very good mount. It's like $180 at outdoorlegacygear.com. I take this scope off every time I clean my rifle. I shoot suppressed. I clean my rifle a lot. Take it off, put it back on, take one test shot, and it's always right where I left it. So it holds it really tight. It's got 2 throw levers, which I love. It's just extra secure on the top of that AR rail. And these mounts are the best that I've seen out there for them. The price on this unit's $37.99, right at $3,800. So it's the exact same price that the old Pulsar Trail XQ50 was. People want to know what the difference between the Trail XQ50 and the Pulsar Thermion XQ50. Really, the main difference is the magnification. The old Trail XQ50 is a 2.7, 2.8 power. This is 3.5, so you're getting a little bit more magnification for the same money. You're also getting what I would say is a improved image. I've used both quite a bit, so it's got a newer sensor in it, some more features that the Trail doesn't have, and really liking this unit so far. So let's talk about the comparison. I think I've gone through, and I don't think I've missed any of the specs. If you have any questions at all, please comment to this video. Like I said, I've got a lot of hours behind this scope. I'll answer your questions. You can always email me as well at Hans at HansETX.com if you got any other questions. So I'm going to show a video right now. The comparison between the Pulsar Thermion XM38 at 4 power and the Pulsar Thermion XQ50 at 3.5 power. Those are the two models that you want to compare to each other when you're talking about the difference in this scope. So what I noticed, and I want to thank a gentleman that works with us, or I should say Colonel Chester Cupp. He's our staff writer for Outdoor Legacy Gear, also does some work on the Late Night Vision show. He put together this video for us, and it's showing the difference between the XM38, which he has, and the XQ50, which he is testing. And I think you can clearly tell that the XQ50 is slightly got more detail, more clear, better picture. It's I think overall a better picture. So those are the difference. But again, that XM38, I know we're talking about it. It's discontinued. You can't buy them brand new anymore. There might be some used ones out there, but that is a discontinued scope. This is not necessarily the replacement, but it is a new scope for 2020. My likes, I'm a big fan of the Pulsar Thermion. I got a Thermion XQ50 mounted on a 6.5 Grendel behind me. That's my favorite scope that I use all the time. That one, runs right at 5,000. This one is right at 3,800. If you are, like I said, a coyote hunter, or if you're a hog hunter in Texas and you just feel more confident when you have a little bit more magnification, I think this is going to be a great scope for you, because keep in mind, every time you magnify the image, you're cutting the resolution in half. So if you have a 640 scope, like you got right here at 2 power, when you bump it up to 4 power, that scope goes from a 640 scope down to a 320 scope. So if you think that you're going to need more than 2 power, or if you're going to need something closer to 4, which this is at 3.5, if you think you're going to need more magnification, if it makes you feel more confident as a shooter, if you're taking longer shots, if you're consistently taking longer shots over 100 yards, you're going to want something with a little bit more magnification. A scope like this is going to be more beneficial to you. And, at this price range, there's really not much competition out there. As you know, Outdoor Legacy Gear, they sell all brands other than ATN, and we've talked about that in the past, so I'm not going to get into it. But with that, there's really from the other thermal scope companies, there's not much competition out there now that FLIR is no longer selling to the end user. Consumers like us, hunters, they're not selling. That scope, that 536, which we all really liked, was taken away. So this is at $3,800. It's a great deal. It's a good scope, and I think that if you're in the market and you're wanting something a little bit higher magnification, great picture image like you've seen in the videos, this is going to be a good choice for you. If you have any other questions, or if you want to see more about this scope or hear more about this scope, again, go check out the Late Night Vision Show podcast. You can find it on YouTube and all the other podcast sharing apps. Go check that out right now. But as always, thank you for joining me. We've got more reviews coming up. We got some AGM binoculars. We got the iRay, the new thermal binocular from iRay, which is a helmet mountable thermal scope. Again, you can go find this at OutdoorLegacyGear.com, 877-350-1818. We'll see y'all next time. More hunting videos coming up right here on the HansETX channel. Thank y'all. Stay safe in the fields. Keep making them bacon pancakes, y'all.
Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so by just clicking on the HansETX logo right below me. Also, the Late Night Vision Show podcast. To subscribe to that YouTube channel, just hit this logo right here to the left. And to watch related videos, you can hit right down there in the corner. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, and keep making them bacon pancakes.